Hey kids,
Hey Dad!
what do you want to do today?
We don't know!
Want to go to the movies?
No!
Want to go to the water park?
No!
Want to go play disc golf?
Yeah! Let's go play disc golf!
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of RC Disc Golf Podcast. With me today, I have James Carman.
How's it going?
Hey, if you guys know him, you might not know him. James Carman is one of the state coordinators of our disc golf community here.
Yep.
And he's going to be talking to us about that. So, what is it exactly your role in this?
State coordinator, the main thing is just to use the PDGA guidelines to make sure that there aren't scheduling conflicts, so that tournaments comply by the PDGA rules, and then aren't overlapping mostly in distance gaps. That's what the major thing is.
Oh, okay.
So you're not, you don't have each tier has a distance that they can be from each other. So like C tier to C tier, there is no distance. C tier to B tier is 25 miles. C tier to A tier, I think it's 50. So there's different parameters you have to follow.
So you can't have different A tiers in the same course throughout the year?
You could. That's on the same date or same weekends.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Sorry, yeah. That's like at the same timeline. So no, you absolutely can have multiple A tiers in the same state.
Gotcha.
We have 5 this year in New York State.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, I think it's 5, 4 or 5.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So just move that mic a little bit closer to your face.
Sure.
All right. So do you know which ones are going to be A tiers this year? Because me and Josh talked about that. We didn't know which ones it were.
I do. I can tell you. You want to bear with me?
Yeah, I can.
Let's see. This year we have WNY Amateur Championships. That'll be an A tier.
Yes.
Mind Kill Disc Golf Championship is an A tier.
I never heard of that one.
Mind Kill is out in the Disc Cap region, out towards Albany.
Oh, okay.
I have not played it. I've heard really good things about the course. Warwick Disc Golf Championships, that's been an A tier for quite a while. That's an A tier again. We got the Syracuse Open is an A tier, and also this just got officially announced, so I can kind of share this as well. Not only is that an A tier, it's also a qualifier for the WNYDGC.
Yes, I saw that.
Which is pretty big news. I worked with Stephen Bailey. He's one of the Syracuse guys, and my contacts at WNYDGC, and it met all their requirements. So it's going to be a qualifier, which is, I think, really big for the state, really big for Syracuse, and what they're doing there. Stephen's put together a really good tournament there. His the payouts have been phenomenal for that event the last few years. So.
What course is that in Syracuse?
Van Buren, and I think he uses both clays, Clay East and Clay West.
Okay.
They're all really nice courses. Syracuse has got quite a few nice courses out that way.
Yeah, I've never had the pleasure of going out that far. Same thing with Rochester. Never played any of those courses. Never really got a chance to travel yet.
Oh man, anytime that I'm out of the not the country, but out of the city or the state, I always just bring at least a few discs with me. I think that's one of the best parts of traveling is getting to see what other places have to offer. Our state has a ton of really nice courses. Mm-hmm. I think at this point I've played not all of them, but a good amount of them.
Yeah, I definitely didn't get to all of them yet. And it was really nice. We'll talk about the schedule later. It's really nice to see a couple of new ones on there for this year. I'm skipping around here.
All good.
So as far as the the role in the state coordinator, you're just really coordinating when events are happening. Nothing's overlapping.
That's the 90% of it. That's the main thing. Other than that, it's if people have questions, they can reach out to me. It's embracing the sport and trying to, be embody what the PDGA envisions the sport to be and be a good sportsman. Working with other state coordinators, similarly, if there's There might be overlaps there as well, so working with them, making sure that's not an issue. But that's for the most part, that's the majority of
Okay.
the job.
And so, as far as the involvement with the West New York Disc Golf Club, then is
Yep.
it overlap in that? Is it part of that, or is it something
I
different?
mean, the two things are independent of one another. I suppose
Okay.
there's a bit of overlap, but my role with Western New York Disc Golf Club, majority of what I do is dealing with the actual parks. So Jeremy Holke puts together the schedule, and then once he's got that situated, I will reach out to all the parks and coordinate with them, make sure paperwork's in line, insurance is in line, and make sure that we can have an event that day. Sometimes they might have something else in that park,
Mm-hmm.
and they'll say, well, no, you can't use that. That happened with Point Series this year. The date that we picked out for Como didn't work. They have another event there. So we switched Como and Ellicott Creek, and we just flopped the two.
Okay.
So it's just coordinating with them, making sure things are in order, any kind of communication that has to occur between us and the parks.
Interesting. That's a lot more than what I thought it was going on, to be honest with you.
Yeah. There's a lot that goes on behind the scenes
Yeah.
to make an event occur even before the actual day of the event. You got to make sure that you're complying with whoever's park it is. They all have different rules. Some of them charge for you to use their park. Some of them do not, but you still have to have paperwork, and they have insurance requirements. So just making sure that all of those things are in order, and it varies in different parks and different places.
All right. So, is any let me see here. Like I said, I was skipping around, so now I'm jumbled up. So any other new stuff going on then for these events?
For like
As far-
WNY events?
As far as the tournaments going on, we did have the schedule posted recently.
Yep.
I don't think I remember.
Yep, we
which
did.
ones.
Yeah, Jeremy just posted it recently. I guess the one big new thing I would say that like we mentioned earlier, WNY AMS is an A tier again. It's been an A tier before, but I think it was a B tier the last 2 years, and now it's back to an A tier this year. And then the other thing is we are working with KJ. He's been running the WNY Masters Championships the last, I think, 4 years.
Okay.
And we submit that to be a Disc Golf Master Tours event. I don't know if you're familiar with the Disc Golf Master Tour.
I am not actually.
So Callie McMoran, she used to be a touring pro. And maybe she just still tours a little bit, but she used to be touring pro, and she kind of also like vends a lot. And so she kind of came up with this idea to run a Masters Tour. So it's all age-protected divisions, and it kind of runs not in the same, like, along the Disc Golf Pro Tour, but similar trajectory. And so there's, she's running, I don't know, it's got to be at least 20 events this year.
Oh wow.
That are just specifically meant for age-protected divisions and meant to be like a higher tier event, similar to the Disc Golf Pro Tour.
Okay. Is there any type of restrictions needed for that?
I mean,
anybody can sign up for these type of events.
You have to reach out to her. I don't know how many applicants she gets. I don't know,
Okay.
How many get approved. She had not too many restrictions for the most part, but you have to meet those. You have to give the dates, and then I guess it would just have to fall in line with where she's traveling and what she's doing at the time.
Okay.
But it wasn't like overly complicated to do.
Gotcha. So how many years have you been actually playing?
I've been playing since probably around 2010.
Okay.
I've been like actively involved in the disc golf scene since 2013. That's when I first started running leagues. It's 2013 with
Gotcha.
Niagara Region Disc Golf.
And as far as the leagues go, I mean, there's so many of them around now. I mean, we got one on Monday at Outwater, Sunday Fun Day.
Two on Monday, because
Two on
there's
Monday
one
now?
at Como as well.
Okay.
At least there has been. I assume that they'll run it again.
Let's hope so. I like the majority that we have.
Yeah.
Because it gives you definitely something to do throughout the week if you
Yeah,
have nothing.
exactly. You literally have one at this point, I think, every day of the week, aside from Saturdays. I'm not sure about Fridays. There used to be Blue Dog on Fridays
Okay.
in the South Towns, but that course isn't there anymore, so I don't know what Sherry's plans are with that.
Gotcha.
But you have, other than that, you got every day.
Yeah. That's great. So with the new schedule out for West New York, NRDG schedule, right?
Yep.
It's the Wednesday night travel league,
Correct.
and let's just go through that then, because we got a couple new courses on there. So, well, not new courses, just new to this schedule.
Yeah, this is. I think we've played every course at this point. So I don't think we added any new courses this year.
Well, the one that I seen on there is Evangola.
So Evangola has actually been. Evangola is like, I'm gonna refer to it as an NRDG park.
Mhm.
That course was put in because of the people who ran this league years and years and years ago. So that's always been on our schedule. And I'd say that's probably the only event, whether it be a league or tournament at this point, that actually uses Evangola. Yeah, there's actually kind of a fun story with Evangola and disc golf in Buffalo. So back in the day when disc golf like first started in Western New York, it started at Joseph Davis, and they kind of either they made their own baskets or they acquired baskets that were not, Steady Ed patented baskets. Because back then it had to be like it was Steady Ed's game, so it had to be his basket. So they got like he reached out to them. They got like a cease and desist. So they kind of moved the baskets in the dead of night from Joseph Davis to Evangola. That's kind of how Evangola came to be a course.
Oh, that's interesting. I was only there once. We were at the, just at the park, just having a cookout day. I think I only got to play like 6 holes for the time that I was there.
Yeah, it's not a course that sees a lot of play, but it's not a bad course overall. It's a little overgrown in some areas, so you just got to know how to play those particular holes. And if you play them right, you won't be a problem. But if you don't, you're probably losing a disc. I guess it's kind of similar to Darien.
I was just
rough is pretty rough.
I was going to bring that up too, because Darien's one that I hear being talked about every now and then. Green Apple Orchard, right?
Angry Apple.
Angry Apple.
Yeah.
That one, when I see pictures of it on UDisc, it doesn't look very well taken care of. It looks like baskets are overgrown all around there, but I guess it's been getting better.
Yeah, it's hit or miss, but it's definitely the rough on that course is nearly you can't traverse it. You go in there and you get stuck on thorns or prickers and stuff. But it's a beautiful course. It's well designed. It probably needs a little more TLC on the roughs, and they mow it and everything. Like it's not like they're neglecting it. It just needs like probably a couple disc golfers to go in and know what they're doing and
you could be
clearing up some lines.
Going to be doing work days a lot this year too.
We'll be doing a lot of work days. I don't know if we're doing work days at Darien per se, but we'll have a lot of work days. I don't know if you saw, but it was just announced we'll be hosting 2026 Amateur World Championships here in Western New York.
I did see that.
There's probably a number of projects that need to get done in order to get the courses ready to go. So we'll probably be focusing mostly on those. There's projects that need to be done in the other courses too, though.
So is that only for the amateur championships? Is that only going to be one course, or is it going to be multiple courses here?
We'll be using 4 courses here.
Okay, which ones are they?
We'll be using Bond, Royalton, Emory, and Como.
Oh wow.
Como and Emory will be mostly for the ladies. The men will play Emory once. They won't play Como. And then Bond will be it'll be the final course as well. So I'll come back and play that for the final day.
That's super exciting. A lot of people are here pumped out for this.
Yeah, we're really excited about it. We kind of been building up towards this over the last 10 years or so, getting ready, making sure you have the courses that actually meet the standard.
I think those are tough courses too. I definitely have a hard time on.
They definitely are, but they're they play fair for what they are. But yeah, they're challenging.
Yeah.
Which is appropriate for the best amateurs in the world, right? You want to challenge them. Some of these kids, like the kid who won last year, he's gonna go pro this year. They kind of like, you'll see at the amateur events, the guys that win them, they immediately go pro the next year, and usually pretty solid players.
I really hope I can get out there and watch. Is there going to be a lot of spectators for these events? I've never been.
I hope so. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. That's definitely welcome and encouraged. And that was kind of one of the things that we kind of use as part of our bid, is that we're so close to so many different places. Pittsburgh's not far, Ohio's not far. We're really close to Toronto. So the draw is here. So hopefully we will have a lot of spectators.
That would be nice. So as far as working these types of events, is there going to be people for flagging and spotting?
Yeah,
Are we
the
gonna
goal
have- are we
is
gonna get,
to
like,
yeah
local
you
people?
you'll basically will we don't have it ready yet, but we're gonna have a form where people can sign up to volunteer.
Okay.
So the idea is to have on some of the holes where you need them, have spotters ready to go, have people who we might need like flaggers to help with parking because there's going to be a lot of people coming in, people volunteering like at the sign up booth, etc. So yeah, there will be probably a lot of people who are gonna hopefully volunteer and help out to make the event.
That was very exciting.
Yeah.
It is a year away, but still very exciting. It's going to be like the top of everybody's talk throughout the whole year, I think.
Yeah, let's hope so. And it's,
Yeah.
I mean, it is very exciting because it's going to showcase what Buffalo has. This will be the first event of this caliber in our.
Are these televised or not televised, but like
There's
someone's YouTube channel?
post production.
Okay.
I think you basically have a choice of who you work with, but you'd get a bid. You'd send a bid out to the different media channels.
Okay.
I think maybe GK Pro did last year's.
Okay.
I'm not 100% sure, but I think it was GK Pro.
All right. That's amazing. So as far as anything else new going on, I mean, we got new course at Hollymont.
Yep.
How's that going?
I would say the course is probably like 80% there.
80%?
It's really close. Like the lines are mostly there. It needs some more like finalized clearing. But their staff there has done a really excellent job. The design was myself, Sam, and Mike Mangus. As far as the clearing goes, that's been almost entirely on them.
Okay.
They got a great crew out there. They did a ton of work. It needs T-pads. Hopefully that'll be a this year project for them. Right now it's got kind of like it's almost like kitty litter. Like it's like it's like a granular, gritty stone.
Okay.
So they're not bad, but
It's like a driveway crush stone type
yeah, almost, yeah. So it's not bad, but it definitely ideally will have turf or concrete up there, and then we just need to do a little bit more clearing. So I think we'll probably in spring have a work day there, where we can hopefully get like 10, 15 people and just bust it out
Nice.
in like a day or two.
Yeah, I didn't realize how it was going to be. Other people have clarified what I was thinking.
Yeah.
The lift ticket you're going to have to pay for to get up to this place.
Yep, it's $25, which is a little expensive. Club members, WNY club members get I think it's like 20% discount, so it ends up being $21, so you get $4 off.
Okay.
But yeah, you take the lift up, and that's just a thing for the entire property.
Yeah.
So like if anybody wants to go up there and go like fishing in their ponds or hike their trails, or I think the bikes actually are more expensive. I think it's $50 to be a bike.
Oh, okay.
So that's like you're basically paying for the lift up there, and then once you're up there, you can hang out there and play. It does fit carts. I intentionally brought my cart there to make sure they'll stop the lift for you. You can lift it in there.
That's good.
I have the largest Zuka, and it fits okay.
Right.
The stuff that like the 3 wheels, those I don't think would fit. Like I don't think you can bring any of those up, but
those are like people's like used strollers and
like
stuff
you wouldn't be able to bring a
use.
baby stroller up. At least I don't know how you would.
Okay, you have to hold on to it and hang on.
Yeah, good luck with
I
that.
don't know. Yeah.
It's
not something I would
like a
wanna
7-minute ride up. So
Yeah, it's not something I would want to do. I'm gonna stick with my bag.
yeah, which is perfectly fine. Absolutely.
Yeah, there's let's see here. Oh yeah, Keith wrote this down too for me. Larkin Square, Urban Disc Golf.
Yeah.
You're a big part of that as well too. Did you design that whole thing too, or?
Yeah. So that is myself, Mark Maui, and Harry Zemsky. And
Okay.
So Mark and I have been good friends for a long time. We met through NRDG League. We run stuff together. He is very good at fine details for an event. Like he obsesses over the important things, which is good for me because I don't. So we work really well, and he helps me make what I do better. So and then Harry is his family owns Larkin Square.
Okay.
And some of the businesses around there. He reached out to me probably 5 years ago, and he's like, "Hey, I wanna do more for the disc golf scene. Let me know how I can help out." So I was like, "Well, come out to League one night and let's just talk." So we talked, and I got to know him, and he has, he's very passionate for disc golf, and he's been very great for our community. And I said, I've been to Larkin Square before. I think we could run this cool event there, which you don't see anywhere else. Because like not a lot of places do this urban disc golf. You see it occasionally, but he's like, sure, let's do it. So we've been running it, I think 4 years now, and every time it's like 100 plus people.
Okay.
It's a lot of fun. It's just a cool environment. It's very different. And I do want to mention, so with Harry, he has, and his businesses have donated a lot to our disc golf scene. They've helped us with projects. So definitely check out Hydraulic Hearth and what's the name of their diner? Might be Larkin Street Diner. There's a diner right next to Hydraulic Hearth. They own both of them. So they've been big supporters of our local scene, and we've been able to do some stuff here with their help. So I'd say we should, as a disc golf community, support them as well.
Oh, most definitely. So this has only just been an event, though. Is there any chance of it being like a permanent thing? Anybody can go at any time?
I don't know. We never really talked about that. They got a lot going on that property other than that. So I don't imagine that being the case, especially where some of the holes play. Like they play through some areas that are going to be used for other things. Like one of the holes is an island hole, and the island demarcation is pickleball courts.
Oh yeah.
So
okay.
like you couldn't have a basket there. People are going to play into pickleball, and then there's also like a covered awning area where they had a lot of tables, and they set up a stage because they do Tuesday night food truck night there.
Okay.
And they usually have bands,
Mm-hmm.
so that wouldn't be able to be there either. So
all right, that makes.
I would say no. That will never be permanent. Maybe he'll toss a basket somewhere.
Okay, yeah, little practice putting basket somewhere.
Yeah,
that would be fun too. I mean, I just want more courses around here.
I hear you. Me
It's
too.
Just something I always think about. I always think about more of the golf courses that are around here. Any chances of maybe getting a permanent one on some of these courses?
Yeah, that's a great question. I know I mentioned Sherry earlier with Blue Dog. She put one in Evans, I think it is. It's a 9-holer. I don't know anything about it. But it is on a golf course. And then how long have you been playing?
This will be my 4th year now.
Okay, so Newfane's been gone.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So
it like disappeared. It was like still there when I started, but like you couldn't like use carts or anything anymore.
Yeah. So Newfane, that was Sam Castiglione and Jeremy Holke designed that one, and along with the owners. That was like right before I had joined Western New York Disc Golf Club. It was a fun course, and it played like you could play ball golf at the same time. Like we played there while people were ball golfing, and it wasn't really much of an issue.
Yeah. Well, if it's designed that way, then
right.
Yeah, if you're not crossing over fairways,
right,
it'd be a perfect opportunity.
Yeah, it's definitely possible. Just finding somebody who's a property owner that's willing and interested.
Mm-hmm. Who's in charge of doing that though? Can anybody talk to these guys about maybe building a course, or would they have to go through the clubs? Or?
No, I don't think that anywhere anybody could probably. If they have the right contact, put in a course. Mm-hmm. What I would say about that, though, is, a lot of people don't necessarily have all the considerations that it takes to design a course, thoughtfully, and making sure that, it plays safe with other user activities, stuff like that. But, no, you don't necessarily need to be a professional designer or anything.
Okay.
So I would say if you wanted to and you had the ability to, maybe try to involve somebody who's done it before or has some experience, so that you make sure everything is considered.
Yeah,
that would be kind of how I would say it, because I've definitely been to courses before where you're like,
it doesn't really work.
This isn't great. Actually, Lincoln Park's a great example of that.
Okay.
One of I think it's hole 8.
I never played it.
Okay, yeah. So I think it's hole 8. There is a swing set that kind of plays. It's like right essentially in the middle of what the fairway would be.
Yeah, Josh said that. Yeah.
Other than that, like it's a fun enough course. Like, but yeah, there's a couple holes that play alongside of each other and they're real tight. So it's just not the safety considerations weren't there because the person who designed it was just a Parks and Rec worker. So he didn't really necessarily know disc golf design.
Gotcha.
So I would say anybody can. Should they? Maybe not.
I guess I would say this: if you have the means to do it, I mean, if you like have a property owner that's willing to go along with it, reach out to the rest of the community. Like reach out to Jeremy Holke or Sam or James here, and they definitely give you more insight on getting it started.
Yeah, I've gotten a real passion specifically for course design
Mhm.
since like I've done a few projects. It's a lot of fun, so I would be happy to help anybody with doing that. And if anyone has any insight on where we can put a course, feel free to reach out because we need more always.
Yeah, I would definitely like some more for sure. So on top of doing all that stuff, you also make your own minis as well too, right?
I do.
Still doing that?
Yeah, yeah. I wish I knew. I would have brought one. I make them out of epoxy resin.
Okay.
You can do a lot of different things. It's a fun way to be creative. I'm not like particularly artsy.
Mhm.
I can't draw or paint or anything, but it's a fun way to be creative and do some different things. You can use different dyes and powders to make them do different things, like change different colors, be sparkly, glow in the dark.
Oh, nice.
And then so I'll make a lot of blanks that are just like whatever colors, and then I can put stickers on them for like different things. Like
Okay.
if you wanted RCdiscgolf, you got a sticker, I could toss one on
I
a mini and make one for you.
don't have a sticker. I have a Daredevil sticker. That's about it. But I do that with the minis that I have here. So I just threw a sticker on
Right.
that one.
Yeah, so like if this was one of the minis that I made, then I would just do another like real thin layer of epoxy over it, so it's just sealed on there.
That would be perfect because yeah, that's just gonna fall off. But that's what I did with I have another one of those minis, and I did put an RC Disc Golf sticker on it.
Yeah.
That's what I use as my marker for right now. But yeah, it will eventually fall off.
Yeah.
So that's the only thing that
Yeah,
sucks.
if it gets wet, it's gonna start wearing off and whatever. But
Fading in the sunlight, all that nonsense. But yeah, no, that's great. Anybody can reach out to you for those as well.
yeah, absolutely. I just do it kind of as a fun side project. It's like not a lot of work to do, and so I have a young family, so like sometimes at night after you put them to bed, you got like half an hour,
Mm-hmm.
an hour where you're like, I'm not tired yet, and you
Mhm.
don't want to. So I'll just go downstairs in my basement and pour a couple of minis, and I can do something like that without having to have like a massive dedication to it. So.
Yeah. Well, that's what we're doing right now.
Right.
My family's upstairs sleeping.
Exactly. It's a little passion project,
Right.
hobby.
That's how
Way
it
to
starts.
do something additional to the sport.
Yep. After this, I'm gonna go in the basement and do some putting.
Nice.
So that's all I got left to do tonight. Well, James, I don't really have any other questions for you. Talked about the double schedule a little bit, mainly about the new things for that. Now it's just the Wednesday night travel league.
Yep.
You got amateur league and you got the open league, and they alternate courses.
Yep.
Every week.
The longest running disc golf league in the Western New York area.
Mhm.
I think we're at 37 years.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's been going for a long time. We play pretty much every 18-hole course in Western New York.
Oh, another thing here. The point series event.
Yep.
We didn't. Well, I guess we did talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, briefly.
Yeah, I mean, we switched.
You talking a little more?
Yeah, Como and. Well, the other new thing is, it's not going to be the finals. Is not going to be at Royalton this year.
Yep.
They're going to be at Bond.
Yep.
Is that just for a fun twist of events?
Yeah,
or-
change it up a little bit. The feedback that we got from some people was that they wanted to see it, a little bit different. So we're, open to listening to what people have to say. So we decided to change that this year. I don't know if that will, change back or rotate or anything. There's always like a meeting before the year to determine what courses are used during the year and anything that has to be adjusted for the rules or what have you. So that was a decision that was made at that meeting.
So, does the weather ever come into effect with these decisions as well? I mean, like, we're starting off at the end of this month, right? So
Yep.
we got Winterfest on the 23rd.
For sure.
Single at the Dizzle then at Joseph David Park. That's on the 30th of this month.
Yep.
So, do you guys choose these types of courses?
30th of next month.
Oh, I'm sorry, next month.
March.
Yes, that's right. So those are the two, like, first, I would say, big events, I guess, for this season.
Yep.
Yeah. Do you guys ever consider weather and time of year of planning these?
Yeah, it's definitely a consideration. Particular courses are not,
Yeah.
the best to be used at particular times of year. So that definitely is. I think a couple years ago we had to cancel Winterfest because It was literally just a sheet of ice.
Yeah, okay.
You couldn't play the course. So so that happens sometimes. But yeah, the weather will be considered. The time of year will be considered. It's kind of awkward here though, because you could have straight into December. It could be 50, 60 degrees.
Yeah, exactly.
So theoretically, we could be running events in December. I wouldn't, but
Yeah, I wouldn't.
yeah, that's definitely consideration. And to jump back to NRDG schedule, the longer playing courses are always in the middle of our schedule.
Okay.
So that because you couldn't play Bond Lake like its league in the beginning of the year, it would run out of sunlight. You wouldn't be able to play at all.
Exactly.
So that is definitely like a major consideration with that schedule, is making sure that all the shorter courses are earlier and later in the year, and then in the middle of the year you've got all your longer playing courses.
Okay, that makes sense. Because I do notice this too with spring fling at Wilson is coming back this year.
Yep.
Wilson is usually underwater that time of year.
It might be.
So,
It's definitely happened. I think there've been tournaments there before where hole 1 has been unplayable.
Hole one I thought was fine. I'm like hole 5, 6.
Yeah, sometimes you have like a little swampy area off on the left side there.
Yeah, and then was it 13 or 14? It's kind of a huge right.
Yep.
Hyzer play.
Yep.
That's usually I would say shin deep in water. It's kind of fun because it makes it kind of an island. So you either making it or you throw it straight to a dry spot and then pitch up to it. But it's always been pretty deep there.
Yeah, it definitely sometimes happens. I guess it just depends on what kind of year we have, right?
Yeah.
I mean, based on the winter we're having, we might have a pretty wet spring.
Yeah,
so.
It's snowing pretty good right now, which is ridiculous. But what are you gonna do?
Exactly.
It's not something I want to go out and play in. I know a lot of people still do.
Me either.
It's not.
I used to. I don't anymore.
I've done it a couple times, but mainly for fun events, just because I didn't care.
Yeah. I will. I still play in the bye week blitz every year,
Mm-hmm.
and that's probably the only winter play I'll do. It hasn't been too bad the last couple of years, but I think it was 3 years ago. It started raining for an hour, and then it turned into a sleet, wet. So everyone was just wet, cold, and miserable.
I was there for that.
Yeah, it was not fun.
Yep. My partner dipped out halfway through second round, and then same thing with our opponent's partner. Did the same thing. So it was now just me and him. It's what are we supposed to do now? And we just continue to play anyways because
why not? You're there.
We felt like the only 2 people on the course anyways. We felt like everybody left.
Yeah.
And I think there was a question whether or not to even do the second round for the weather.
Yeah.
And for some reason, 4 people said yes, and I think Maui took their word for it. And
I don't know. Mark was like, I don't know. I don't want to do this either.
Yeah, it was bad. It was a rough week.
It was pretty bad.
That was great. I did do it again this year too, and it actually I enjoyed it a lot better.
Yeah.
I didn't play Joseph David all year, except for the bye week blitz, and I kind of enjoyed playing it, and now I'm thinking about going back out there more often again.
I love the bye week blitz, and for the same reason that I love Larkin, they're just different. You know, I enjoy playing disc golf in general, but I guess after a point in time playing the same courses over and over, having something fresh and different and unique is fun. Yeah, and so when we were there, you saw all of the tee pads.
Yeah.
So they replaced. They put concrete pads on the reds and blues, and they're replacing all the baskets there as well.
Yeah, I heard about that too.
And then they also redesigned the bowl holes, the bottom 9 there on the opposite side.
Oh, I don't know if I've ever been down there, to be honest with you.
Yeah, they were fine holes, but the park manager there wanted to make a couple adjustments because there's a couple holes that played down near a pavilion.
Okay.
So he kind of wanted to remove those. I haven't seen what he ended up doing with it. He and I walked and talked about it, so I have an idea, I think, of what he's doing. But it'll be cool to see what ended up coming of that. That whole course got a facelift. It's real nice now.
What are we doing with the old baskets? You're just getting donated to another course?
So those are owned by the state.
Okay.
He wanted to donate them to either schools or maybe
nice.
putting in a smaller 9-hole course. I don't know that anything has been decided yet.
Okay.
Those might end up going into storage for a little bit, but he wanted to reuse them. Oh, you know what? He wanted to actually, with some of them, he wanted to send them off to Syracuse. He reached out to me a couple months ago. There's a course in Syracuse. The baskets are probably like homemade baskets almost.
Oh, wow.
And it's in Green Lake State Park. So he reached out and asked if I had contact with anybody in Syracuse. But they just replaced them this year. So he's looking for something to do with them. I think that they'll hopefully, end up either in a school or in a new course.
All right. Well, I have an idea, and for some of these courses, they have alternate pin positions. They
Yep.
have the longs and the shorts.
Yep.
To make long and shorts available permanently year round.
So like having 2 sets of baskets.
Yeah.
It's definitely something that's been talked about. Most of the courses that have alternates at this point are in Erie County.
Mhm.
I've brought it up to them before. They kind of, I don't know. Things are constantly changing, so that could be
Mhm.
that could definitely be a thing.
Well, I mean, it would help with, a little bit less work of moving the baskets every year.
Yeah, for sure.
Certain events or not. I mean, I know some people might not like the idea because the short basket might be in the way of the long basket, but I mean, so is a tree.
Yeah.
It's just another
It's
obstacle you
usually
got to
not
get
too
around.
much of an issue.
No, but
And-
I mean, I think it would have been great to have them in Ellicott Creek Park because I've rarely see them in the alternate pin positions there.
Yeah, we gotta rotate them a little bit more there. That's probably going to be a focus in the next coming year or two. Is getting that dialed in.
All right.
At Emory and Como, there are seasonal layouts,
Mhm.
so they get rotated there. That'll probably happen at Ellicott too soon.
That'd be nice. That'd be really cool. I'm trying to think like what hole at like hole 15 at Ellicott Creek Park. I've never seen it in the long position.
The one over the creek,
Over the creek.
over the
yeah.
pond.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been used. Maui loves using it when he hosts an event there. It hasn't been in there, like it doesn't usually stay in there all too long.
Mhm.
But it has been used.
And I also sorry I cut you off
That's
again,
okay.
but I've also learned that hole 16 of Ellicott Creek Park there used to be a long position as well. You would used to throw from the bottom of the hill.
Oh yeah. The tee pad used to be at the bottom of the hill. You threw up and over it. The problem was people park right at near that basket
Mhm.
and then go fishing. So a lot of people will just walk up that hill.
Gotcha.
So what was happening is like people wouldn't go up and like use a spotter or a check. So like discs were getting thrown at people. So we
Gotcha.
decided to move that for safety purposes.
That makes sense.
We did the same thing for 15 actually. 15's pad used to be, I guess, closer to where 14's basket is. It kind of
Oh.
played a bit more of a dog leg,
Yeah.
but people were throwing out and over the water, and
Mhm.
from where it was, you aren't necessarily seeing fishermen, so you might not be, cognizant that you're throwing at a person.
Yeah, exactly.
So that was moved. Both those were moved just for safety purposes because this is shared. It's a
Yeah.
shared park. We don't want to hit a pedestrian and then the course gets pulled because somebody gets injured.
Yeah, exactly. I do like that idea though for hole 15 there. That being just a huge dog leg right.
Yeah,
That
it was
pretty-
it was a fun hole.
Yeah.
It was definitely a fun hole.
Well, I like how it is now too though because I'm almost acing it every time I get there.
Yeah, I've seen some of your videos.
Yeah, I'm getting close. It's on the list for this year. That one and 16.
Yeah, both of those would be fun
Yeah.
aces for sure. I don't have anything at ACP yet.
I don't either. I had a skip through on hole 2. That was the closest
Mm.
I had like a couple years ago
Mm.
with my champion destroyer.
Nice.
Yeah, nice forehand skip shot up in there. Yeah,
Yep.
went right through the chains. But that's the closest I ever had there. I got no other. Well, besides hitting the cage on 15, that happened this year.
Cool.
Okay, that's about all my questions. Oh, another one. So putting in tee pads in Hollymont, which ones would you prefer? Like, you have a favorite type of tee pad? This is a question for everybody, by the way. Do you like turf? Do you like dirt? Do you like gravel, concrete,
There's a few
Paver-
answers to that question.
pavers?
Pavers are great. The problem with pavers is they require like routine maintenance.
Yeah.
Especially in particular areas. Like if you have roots, they're gonna uproot the pavers a
Mhm.
lot. So it's a lot of having to reposition them and reset them. But if they're done well and they're a great surface, I would say I prefer playing from concrete. Yeah, I think playing from concrete It's I guess a bit more difficult to install, but then once it's
Well,
there, it's there.
Time consuming, I guess. I wouldn't say difficult, but
Right.
definitely more time consuming if
Right.
you're going to do it right. The other one is rubber, because Como's got rubber pads.
Yep. Those will probably get
fan.
replaced soon.
Yeah, I'm
actually,
not a fan of those.
Those are probably a decade old now,
Mhm.
maybe a little longer.
They also feel like they're just laid on the ground, not like they're.
Yeah, there's a
dug
little
in.
bit of stone there, but yeah, some of them
Okay.
are definitely a little wonky.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say that's not my favorite surface either. It's okay if it's
Mhm.
done well, but yeah, it's not. Turf, I think turf is a good number 2. The problem with turf is it has to be replaced after 5 years.
Yeah.
I think Ellicott lasted 5 or 6 years, and some of those pads need to be replaced again. Still.
Well, they didn't do all of them when they.
Yeah, we only did like the worst ones.
Yeah.
Um,
Ones with big holes in them.
yeah.
Yeah, that was good actually. It was nice that those got done actually fairly quickly, in my opinion.
Yeah, Alex Wilkinson spearheaded that. He did a great job, and Eric Fetterman helped out with that, and Mike or Chris Toscano. I can't remember which one.
Mhm.
And then I helped out with one day, but it was mostly those guys.
Yeah, we also have the new hole on hole 10 with the elevated pyramid.
Yep.
Are we looking at doing anything else like that in any of the other courses? More elevated baskets this year?
The idea is to have something not to that scale, but something like that in all 4 of Erie County's courses.
Okay.
So, have you played Emory recently? Emory's got one too.
Last time I played Emory was the point series for last season. I think it was point series.
So hole 10 has one, but I don't know if it was in for the point series.
Don't
The one there is a ring, and then the second layer is a diamond.
Okay.
It's black diamond
Yes.
at Emory. So yeah, the idea is to have something similar to that in all of the parks. Hopefully this year, we'll see.
Okay. I do like them. I like a challenge with of an elevated basket. That's why I like the Griffin Park so much in
Right.
Springville.
Right.
Because there's a lot of them there. As far as like, I don't know, I guess like design goes, because I was at Spartan recently with my son checking out the 9-hole course that they have inside there.
Mhm.
I know it's a challenge, but the elevated basket in their 100-foot long pitching net,
Yeah.
it's very difficult.
Oh, I imagine.
It's
Yeah.
not a high ceiling that you can throw at this basket for 100 feet, so you're gonna have to be really, really good at throwing a nice straight shot up
Yeah.
there.
Precise. And sometimes the problem with that is like to get that low distance, you're gonna like rip on it a little bit.
Mhm.
So you might have a perfect shot, but
Yeah.
if it catches the chains wrong, it could spit right back out.
Yeah, I keep hitting the top of the net, and then it slows my
Okay.
disc down so much,
Yeah.
it doesn't make it there no more. I did hit chains once though, so
Nice.
that was very exciting. But I'll get close one of these days. The only other thing is the low ceilings at a lot of these courses. The one in particular in my head is Outwater Park,
Yeah.
in Lockport.
Yeah, for sure.
I know I talked to Tim about this before, like a year ago. It's not really our decision on course maintenance
Yeah.
on a lot of these parks.
To an extent.
So, is there anything maybe new we can do this year for that place as far as work days go?
That's a great question. And one that would have to be brought up with, I guess, their parks department to determine what can be done. I know they did a good amount last year with the tee pads there.
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't something that I had any involvement with. I think it was led by Steve Hopkins.
Okay.
He's the one who like got that course put in. Yeah, I like I said earlier, with a lot of these courses, they have like each park system has different obligations, guidelines you have to follow. That goes towards course improvements as well. Sometimes they will or will not let you do particular things. Most of them are not about like taking down trees, which is
Yeah.
perfectly fine. Like
You don't have to
ideally
take
we're
them
not.
down, but just trim
Right.
them up.
right,
You know?
yeah, and some of that it might be a restriction as well. I don't know what theirs specifically is because I haven't really done much there to know. Like Erie County, we kind of can with as far as trimming goes, we kind of do
Mhm.
what makes sense as long as it's not to excess.
Yeah.
We have limitations on what you're able to take. It's got to be like within a certain size, a couple
Yeah, okay.
inches.
Mhm.
So yeah, that just depends on them, their park, and
Gotcha. Yeah, because hole 3, like once you get up closer to the pin, There's a big tree that's on the
Yeah.
hill there, and those branches are almost touching the ground.
Yeah.
It's a real tight window to get up there now.
Yeah.
It's already a difficult hole to begin with the Mando and everything else.
Yeah, for sure. That's definitely a thing, and that's something that like you regularly have to go into a course and just do every year or two, depending on the course's growth. Clear out some things that weren't there before. Some of those branches, they grow, and as they do, a branch that was 10 feet up, if you had 20 more pounds on it, it might just dip down into a line that wasn't there before.
Yeah, exactly. So as far as work days go, anybody they can reach out to you, or you want to wait till you guys post them?
No, anyone could reach out to me. Absolutely. We always need capable people, people who are able to, especially people who have trade experience or able to build things, because people who can bring something specific to a course improvement is definitely helpful. But we also always just need able bodies.
Yeah.
They can reach out to me. They can, if they're interested in helping at particular courses. Some of the courses have course liaisons, like Emery. Matt Hess leads a lot of the projects down there. We got a few guys that are really good down there, but he's like the main guy. So if somebody wanted to help at Emery, they could reach out to him. But I mean, in the very least, somebody could reach out to me, and I can put them in touch with whomever might be responsible.
Okay. Do you remember playing with me a few years ago?
I do. I don't remember what event it was, but I do remember playing with you.
It was just Monday Night League at Outwater Park. I think it was one of my first time playing that place, and me and you got partnered up. That was the first time I played with you there. That was
Do we play well?
No.
I don't play well at Outwater. I just that course is a lot of them are very tight, precise lines, and if you're not like hitting your lines, you can play terrible. I was for Wednesday League. I was the mulligan there once, and someone was like, "Oh man, you're so lucky," and I was like, "I don't know, man." And I ended up shooting I didn't shoot under par. Like I shot like +2 or something like that.
Yeah, we did not play well. I mean, you were throwing some great shots, but me being fairly new, like I said, this was like 3 years ago, so this is like at my start, and I was missing like all my putts, and you weren't having a good day either, putting.
It happens, man.
It was a good day though. I enjoyed it a lot.
Good.
And definitely kept me into doing it. I wish I could have done leagues this year. It's one thing that I miss doing, but my work schedule was not having it.
Did you work evenings? Did you work evenings?
I did, yeah. Second shift is what I was working.
So that's
yeah. So I would go in 3 p.m. is when I had to go into work. So, but this year I'm looking for a new job, so maybe I can do some more leagues.
Cool.
Sunday Fun Day was probably going to be maybe the only one I could do.
Yeah.
But that's great because Como Park is my nemesis. So I got to get better at that somehow.
Yeah, that's nice because it's on the weekend. It's also during the day, so it's a little different than other ones. Some places do like daytime leagues during the week. Mm-hmm. We don't really have that here. I mean, that's not to say there couldn't be a thing, but like I know down in North Carolina they have a few where it's just like somebody goes and chills at the park all day, and you can just kind of, it's almost like a flex start where you can just kind of come through and.
Oh yeah, that'd be kind of cool. Just come in, sign up whenever you can.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool. It's kind of like logging in your own tee times.
Yeah, exactly.
Interesting. Do the putting leagues around here work like that?
Well, so Spartans does that. The Wednesday putting, no. Wednesdays show up. It's everyone plays at the same time.
That one's at Fat Man.
Fat Man, yeah. Are there any more putting?
There's
Bradford's.
Bradford's.
Yeah,
at,
recycling.
Recycling Buffalo.
You get a tee time, but I think there's like 4 or so during the day. I think they're on Sundays. So I think there's 4 different tee times, and I think you can like switch if you need to.
Okay.
To accommodate your schedule. I haven't played in it yet. I'm playing in this second round.
Okay.
So I don't know exactly how that one works.
Yeah, I want to get into more of them because I haven't gotten to do any putting leagues since they've become a thing.
Yeah.
Again, work schedule never lined up. So that's definitely something I want to go to, especially after playing in Spartans. It is fun.
Yeah.
I mean, it's challenging, and they change it up how many times? Like at least once or twice every other week or so.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how much they change in the new space. I know, like last year in the old space, they would change the course literally every time. It was a brand new course every time.
I feel like they do it like once a week or so.
Yeah.
As of right now, but subtle changes to it, like
Yeah.
changing the Mando or however else.
Yeah, keep it, change
Yeah.
different so that people want to come back and try
Yeah,
the new thing.
yeah, it's great. I love it. Definitely want to get out there more doing it. So if you guys want to do it as well, reach out to or follow all the socials, I guess.
Yep.
Reach out to Spartan, find out the times when to show up there. Spartan Disc Golf, Fat Man Skate and Board Shop, right there in the skate park. They have it indoors, and Recycling Buffalo.
Yeah, Recycle
Yeah.
Buffalo. They're starting their second segment, I think, next week. So I think there's still time to sign up.
Yes, definitely do it. All right, James, I'm all set with you, man.
Cool. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming in. I
Yep.
really appreciate this. Guys, go follow James. Reach out, buy some minis off of him, because who does not want to have a custom mini for their bag? Show it off on your tournaments.
Yeah, and I mean, if you ever have any questions, feel free to reach out. I may not know all the answers, but if I don't, I can probably put you in touch with the person who does.
Yeah, that's definitely a good thing to have. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Peace out.